And that gets the crowd going here. They're looking for the home field advantage in the tough NFC Central, where it's tough to play in Green Bay, tough to play in Detroit, Minnesota. And those type of plays from the defense really galvanizes this crowd in this beautiful new stadium. You're going to see Sapp now on the right guard, right there. Corbin Lasina beats him clean around the outside. And Sapp is not a move guy. He's a speed guy. He's going to beat you off the snap.
3rd and 14 for the Panthers. They're 0-2 so far on third down conversions. Need to get all the way to the 42-yard line. Beuerlein complete to Rocket Ismail. Ismail gets enough all the way out to midfield.
Kurt, the strength of the Tampa Bay defense is their front seven. But they play a zone behind it with their 4 secondary people because they don't have great speed. If you can stave off the rush and stop the linebackers from blitzing, you can find room in the secondary. There's holes in the zone, and Beuerlein, masterful job of stepping up to the pocket here, putting pressure on the defense. And Ismail off to his best start yet as a pro, and finds the recipient of that pass.
22-yard pickup gives him first down at midfield. That's Fred Lane. Hit hard. Oh, man. John Lynch. We talked about him being the best run-stopping safety in the league, and he showed why right there.
Well, yeah, John Lynch used to be a weak side linebacker when he first came to Tampa. So he plays like a linebacker, but he gets the running start from the safety position. Now you're going to see Fred Lane right here. You know, he's fighting for every yard. Now watch come 47 come the picture. That's what you call finishing a play. You know, and Fred Lane takes that back to the huddle and said, who was the locomotive that just knocked me on my butt?
He's got the Lynch mob going here in Tampa. 2nd and 5. Beuerlein complete to Ismail. Ismail hit hard and pushed out of bounds. There are flags on the play. And the Buccaneers a call for offside. I would assume Carolina would take the completion.
Offside. Defense. Number 91 lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
And that's Reagan Upshaw, the defensive end on the right side.
Yeah, Upshaw trying to get a jump on Rob Bollinger up at the top against the left tackle, number 69. Lined up in that neutral zone trying to get a jump.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 37. The handoff to William Floyd. Floyd, the fullback, gets it out across the 45 before Steve White gets a hold of him. Got a little help from Derek Brooks there as well.
Yeah, there's been an injury here in Tampa Bay. Chidi Hanatu, the starting left defensive end, had surgery during the bye week on a separated shoulder. So filling in is Tyoka Jackson along with Steve White right there. And Tampa Bay doesn't like to be on the field a long time. This is not a big physical defense. This defense is predicated upon speed. And so they like to rotate the guys up front, keep them fresh.
Beuerlein with a play action. Throws it, almost caught, but falls incomplete. Wesley Walls, the tight end, the intended receiver. Beuerlein had completed 6 in a row before that drop.
No, we talked to Wesley yesterday, and he said, you know, Steve Beuerlein and myself, we wanted to try to get me involved in the game early today. Last week, before the Dallas game, he only had 7 catches in the first 4 games, but he had 4 a week ago. And he looked like he was in sync with Steve Beuerlein. And Walls is a guy that can get down the seam. He runs well. In fact, we made the comparison to Jay Novacek yesterday. Steve thought he played with Novacek, played with Walls. He said Walls, a little more physical, can't run quite as well.
On 3rd down, they need to get the ball to the 27-yard line for the first. Bucks coming on the blitz. Quick pass by Beuerlein, incomplete, intended for Muhsin Muhammad. But credit the Buccaneer defense there because they sent everybody at it.
Yeah, Steve Beuerlein's got words for Muhsin Muhammad. You know, that's a hot read against an all-out blitz, and Beuerlein has to throw it to a spot. Now here comes Johnny Lynch up here in the middle of the screen. He's going to be coming right over the left guard, Frank Garcia. He jumps right over the block of Fred Lane and is able to trip up Steve Beuerlein. Beuerlein is ticked. His eyes never go off of Muhsin Muhammad right there. He's going to go give him a little piece of what he thought about that route.
John Casey going to try a 54-yard field goal attempt. His season long is 56, and this one's good. From 54 yards out. The Buccaneers find themselves in a 3-0 hole. 6:28 to play in the first half here in Tampa.
According to the press, you couldn't choose a better time to buy a new car. So why not buy the one Automobile Magazine chose over Accord and Camry for their All-Star Award for Best Family Sedan, the Intrigue. Right now, you can receive our lowest financing of the year at 0.9% and enjoy over $2,800 in finance savings on all 98 Intrigues. So come in today and get 0.9% financing or other great offers on the Intrigue and all 98 Oldsmobiles now at your local Oldsmobile dealer.
Landlord. Cable guy. The police, open up.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Hey, nacho lovers. Get a massive order of Nachos Bel Grande for just 99 cents when you buy a large drink. That's over $1 off. Better hurry.
Hey, mind if I play?
Hey, dude, there's Brett Favre. Come on.
Hey, mind if we play?
Mind if I play?
To the left.
Pizza! Who orders a pizza?
Hey, man. Mind if I play?
Sorry, Dion. Game's full.
Let's go!
Who do you think you are? Mr. Stop.
Even you got in.
You're never gonna get my love.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Come inside, come inside.
It's Game 2 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
The Carolina Panthers have had troubles on special teams this year, trouble on this field goal, but they still made it.
This is to Kenny Walter here on the ground. He bowls it back. Walter does a great job of getting that down for Casey with the laces pointed to the goalpost. And Casey got all of that ball. That could have been good from 60, Kurt. And he does have a little bit of a more in warm-ups, and he was hitting them from 55 yards with consistency.
Well, he got a 53-yarder there officially to cap off a 55-yard drive. Big play, that 22-yard completion on 3rd and 14. Riedel Anthony back to take the kick at his own 2. Dances, knocked down at the 15-yard line. Leonard Wheeler with the tackle. The Buccaneers will start from there in a 3-0 hole here in Tampa.
It's a little chilly, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, sorry. What am I thinking? How's that? Yeah, thank you. Better? Good. Warm.
Good.
Where were we?
We were cold.
Check.
The only thing more important than your favorite receiver is your favorite card. Visa, official card of the NFL.
You look great tonight.
Thank you.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Look, they make olive oil. Take a picture here.
Okay. All right.
Bonjour.
Oh, hi. How are you? Is this your business?
Yes.
Oh, we have our own business, too.
Yes, we have 3 stores in Ohio. Ohio. We sell it, Ohio. And California, and Canada, and Argentina, and Australia. They're on the internet. How can they afford it?
Something powerful is happening. Introducing the new Silverado. With a more powerful V8 than any other pickup. It's the truck from Chevrolet.
Imagine making a deal with the devil to get to heaven.
It's burning in hell.
Peter Horton in Brimstone, premiering Friday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Tonight, it's Game 2 of the World Series as Andy Ashby leads the Padres against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and the rest of the Yankees. Game 2 of the World Series tonight, beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, immediately following our NFL doubleheader action. Yankee fans down here in Tampa, of course, the Yankee spring training facility right across the street here, Dale Mabry, the avenue that runs right between this new Raymond James Stadium and the Yankees Legends Field.
You've been to the Steinbrenner radio and training camp this year, Kurt.
Ward done with a handoff in the open field. Makes a move, finally pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line by Doug Evans, but only after a 25-yard pickup.
And this is what got Warwick Dunn to the Pro Bowl in his rookie season a year ago. He takes something where there is absolutely nothing on the right side behind Frank Middleton and Jason Odom. There's nothing there. But now it's just instinct. No, this is just vision. This is talent. You know, look, changing the ball, putting it in the left hand. I mean, those are some good fundamentals by the little kid.
Done 6 carries, 52 yards already in this ball game. He's out right now. Mike Allstott, the lone setback. Play action by Dilfer. All kinds of time. Goes deep. Intended for Bert Emanuel, but overthrown. Eric Davis was the guy in the coverage, and he just had him beat like a rented mule, as the old men say.
Well, you know, it was a long double move. And Dilfer needed a lot of time. And he got the time because of a great fake in the backfield. But watch Emanuel here against Davis at the bottom of the screen. He's going to want to square in. Now he bites on it. He gets him. That's exactly what Dilfer wanted. He's got to be more accurate. And Dilfer knows, you know what? That was 6 points. That was 6, and I might not get a whole lot more opportunities like that. They got exactly what they wanted, a one-receiver route off the play action. They missed it.
2nd and 10 from the 40. Dilfer with time again, dumps it off to Allstott. Allstott out to the 40-yard line. Now time to go to our Fox Network center and James Brown for an NFL update. JB?
Take a look at Jamal Anderson, a young man who's got 3 100-yard games, looking to tie a team record with 4. One on his way, cuts up the middle, back outside, 31 yards of pay dirt. He's aiming for greatness, and right now the Falcons aiming to try to win it. They're on top by 3. That in the 2nd. Back to Kurt and Brian.
Kurt, they look like they're strapping the refrigerator to his back and riding him. He seems to be getting better and better. You know, last year, good year now, even better this season.
And Dan Reeves down there in Atlanta loves his running backs, and Jamal Anderson, the beneficiary of a new coach down there. Trent Dilfer with time again. This one complete to Riedel Anthony. Anthony touchdown the 40-yard line by Eric Davis, but another nice pickup by the Buccaneers. 20 yards on the play.
Dilfer looked good on that throw. You got to make a comeback throw now. You're going to see Trent Dilfer right here in the middle of the screen behind good protection. Good job there by Jorge Diaz, clogging up the middle. Riedel Anthony coming back for that football. Dilfer throwing it to a safe place, low and away from the defender.
Brings up a 1st and 10 from the Carolina 40. Handoff to Dunn. Warwick Dunn picks up a yard. Sean Gilbert with the tackle, but this 3-4 defense, the one thing you've got to do is stop the guy in the middle, and they did not do it on
the
this
biggest matchup in a 3-4 is Tim Morabito and Tony Mayberry in the middle. Center and nose tackle. See, Mayberry is pushing him to the side that Morabito wants him to go. Morabito won that battle right there because there was no cutback ability available for Dunn. Morabito got there, forced the play to the front side.
2nd and 9. Allstott the lone setback. John Davis, tight end in motion. It's Allstott. Does the same thing, picks up another yard. Tim Morabito, who's having a good series right now with the tackle.
You know, they will run the football. You know, this is one of the few teams in the league that will run the football on 2nd and 9. They'll stay with the run. You're going to see right here, these are tough yards. They only make a yard on this, and it's a hard yard. I mean, Allstott, you know, takes a shot to the forearm there. He gets a little headache. He gets his bell rung. But in the 4th quarter, they feel like this is when those short runs will open up into long runs.
3rd down, they need to get the ball to the 30-yard line. Buccaneers 3 for 5 on the day in 3rd down conversions. Dilfer. Complete. Riedel Anthony with the catch all the way down to the 15-yard line. A 23-yard gain, good enough for the 1st down.
Excellent pickup here on Leonard Wheeler, who comes in on the blitz. You're going to see right from the left side. That's John Davis, the tight end, does a good job picking up Wheeler. And Riedel Anthony goes up high for the ball. These are not big receivers. These are small, quick receivers. You know, and Trent Dilfer said, I don't know if I'll ever get all of my receivers healthy at once. These guys take a shot, you know, they get hit, they get beat up. Outright today is Jacquez Green. Reed Ellens today, though, went up high for that ball. It was a good catch.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. The Buccaneers have it first down on the 15-yard line, looking for their first offensive touchdown the first half this year.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Burger King. If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Buy a set of 4 selected Goodyear tires before November 28th and get a $50 or $100 U.S. savings bond. For the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
We thought it was going to be another routine pit stop. But then the guys in R&D gave us this new advanced battery. Should be interesting.
Are in here again? I can't believe this! You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football! I need guys that can play!
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
How far will Allie go to defend her hemline?
I'm happy to jump on the cause.
Thanks.
An all-new Ally McBeal tomorrow on Fox.
Trent Dilfer and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down 3-0, but marching at the Carolina 15-yard line. They've got a first down. Mike Allstott's alone back in the backfield. Dilfer, quick pass. Incomplete, intended for Bert Emanuel on the slant.
Pass intended for Bert Emanuel. That's the matchup today. Bert Emanuel and Eric Davis. And Emanuel beat Davis on that play. Dilfer threw it perfectly. Emanuel dropped the ball. You know, Emanuel has been strong in week 1 against Minnesota. He's been in the whirlpool the last 5 weeks. He came out here today on an ankle that still isn't healthy. A high ankle sprain. What that says is there's ligament damage to that ankle. And it's not real firm. You can't really plant and cut like you'd like, but he's got to come up with that catch.
2nd and 10 from the 15. That's Warwick Dunn. Looking for some room outside. You can never bring this guy down, boy. Every time you think you've got him tackled, he slips away from you. Jeff Brady finally hauls him in.
Yeah, you don't get a clean shot on Warwick Dunn, but, you know, when you play a 3-4 defense, Kirk, it's a containing defense. And you're not supposed to be able to get out wide. And right there, Allstott throws a good block on the outside. Thinking maybe Dunn can get out there, but the pursuit from inside, you know, that's the blue swarm. That's the blue swarm. That's Carolina's defense, and it's a containing defense, and they got the job done.
Tony Veland, the safety, injured for the Carolina Panthers, and that's a position right now. They've only got 3 safeties suited up for this game. They can't afford much more of an injury right there. We'll update his condition when we come back.
If you've been thinking about jumping into a rugged new Montana,
I need more room!
now's a really good time.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan.
Life was more exciting in Montana. Now jump into a rugged Montana with this limited time offer. But get a move on because the train's leaving the station. See your Pontiac dealer today.
it your way, it just tastes better.
Are you fan enough?
Name the goon I'm describing. I didn't care if it was Madonna or not. The only thing more fun than watching sports is watching sports drunk.
The game show that challenges your manhood.
That's Shoeless Joe Jackson, Dennis Rodman, Polly Purebred.
The ultimate family.
And don't forget, you can stay on top of all of today's sports trivia by watching Fox Sports News each and every night. We've got up-to-the-minute scores, highlights, and in-depth interviews from around the globe.
On your Fox Sports Net regional cable channel. Check local listings.
They're getting closer. The Lost World, coming in 2 weeks on Fox.
Tony Veland, the injured Carolina Panthers, walked out under his own power. Didn't appear to be anything too serious. His own guy hurt.
So here's 36 coming in to clean up and Warren done. But watch, that's Greg Lloyd right there with the belly flop. Knocked the wind out of Veland, and Veland is all right. Just had to try to get that air back in the stomach.
Buccaneers having 3rd down and 10 from the 15. They're the #1 converting 3rd down team in all of the National Football League. And they don't convert here. That ball's incomplete. Riedel Anthony, the intended receiver, no good.
Trent's still, he's frustrated, Kirk. And he said this can be an ugly offense. But when you don't throw it perfectly sometimes, it all looks ugly. I mean, he thinks he threw that ball to Riedel Anthony. He got his hands on it. If you get your hands on it, you got to catch it. And when an offense is struggling, guys got to make plays. You got to bring that ball in. That would have been a 1st down right there at the 3.
So that's going to bring up a 33-yard field goal attempt by Michael Husted. And it's good. So the Buccaneers tie this game at 3. They still do not have a first-half offensive touchdown this season.
Blitz players don't pump iron. They have it for breakfast. Deadly long-range passing. Linebackers without conscience. NFL blitz.
Chew your food.
No reps, no rules, no mercy.
At Uniroyal, in order to make a point about our new nail guard tires, we added a few to our test track. Nail guard tires, designed to seal 90% of tread punctures, instantly and permanently. Only from Uniroyal.
Who are you?
I was hired by your roommate.
Well, out of my way, I want a Bud Light.
I don't think so.
This is ridiculous. I live here.
Sorry. You ain't on the list.
List? Is there a problem, Bruno?
Nothing I can't handle.
That's what I like to hear.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Now am I on your list?
Let's see.
Nope. In the first Union Grand Slam of skating, Ilya Kulik, Todd Eldridge, and Kurt Browning pushed their rivals to the next level. Then, the ladies command the ice in a head-to-head showdown to see who'll advance to the finals. Coverage begins next Sunday on Fox. Check local listings.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Come inside, come inside.
It's Game 2 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
This is when the big dogs come out.
In driving rain, pro football is played.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have all the scores and highlights from around the NFL. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up-to-the-second stats. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. We've got 1 minute, 15 seconds left to play in the first half here of a 3-3 ball game. Michael Husted set to kick off to Michael Bates. James Bates takes it at the 5. Whoa. Gets out to the 26-yard line. A whole lot of hitting going on in this game.
Bates on the return. Shelton quarrels with that stick.
The Buccaneers tied this game up with 11 plays, 70 yards. Husted with a 33-yard field goal. Riedel Anthony was big in that possession. They tried to go to him on the third down, though, and he couldn't hold on to that one.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has had their opportunities on offense to put points on the board. Well, they've hurt themselves. The Tampa Bay defense is playing right on schedule. They've kept Carolina to 18 plays so far in the first half.
It's their best starting field position of the half. That's complete to Anthony Johnson. Panthers in their hurry-up offense with just over a minute to play here in the first half.
I was looking at Steve Berline. You know, he was trying to get this team set up, but he had time to pat Sapp on the helmet. You know, and Sapp lives in the backfield, in the shadow of the quarterback. Quarterbacks get to know that guy.
Trying to get the clock straightened out here. It stopped after the completion for some reason.
Yeah, Johnny Lynch saw it. You know, I mean, he's a quarterback playing safety on this defense, and he pointed it out to the umpire.
Ron Winter, the referee, trying to get things straightened out. Winter was a line judge in the NFL for the first 3 seasons. This year has been promoted, if you will, to the spot of referee. Worked the AFC Championship game last year. You remember that game, don't you?
How could you forget that game? Kind of throws off the rhythm of the Carolina offense right here. It allows Tampa Bay to get lined up exactly where they want to get in this 2-minute drill.
Winter's still not satisfied with whatever explanation he's gotten.
Now, Tampa Bay's the defense right here that if Carolina wants to go down the field, you'll try to knock them out in 3 plays and get that possession back for Tampa Bay's offense one more time, even though you're under 1 minute left.
There's only a 3-yard pass play to Anthony Johnson as Carolina comes out in the hurry-up offense, but the hurry-up got slowed down awfully fast by the clock operator here at Raymond James Stadium.
You know, everybody has a phone these days, right? You got a cell phone. I mean, even the clock operator has a phone. You know,
we need to get
everybody can get reached in this world.
We need to get the officials one of those headphones like they have at Burger King or McDonald's, you know?
Yeah, drive-through headset.
Would you like shakes with that, you know? That's what we should get for it. We'll work on that. Don't forget, coming up, whenever they restart the clock and we finish the first minute and 5 seconds of this, is our Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, Chris with all the scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats, and it's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
And the other thing that this delay does is it gives that defensive line, you know, a chance just to catch their breath after that first play. Allows Sapp to come off the ball even quicker.
So they run the clock down to 51 seconds now. That's an awful lot of time for that play. It was 1:07 when Carolina got the ball and started. They completed a pass of 3 yards, had to run back to the huddle, but that's 16 seconds that they run off the clock.
And Berline, you know, right now is setting up the offense. Now, he wants to take a shot. This is a team that's 0-5. He's the new leader. You know, they need to make a play, and they're counting on Berline. You know, they're rallying around him, and guys that we talked to yesterday said, he's always talking. He's always talking in the huddle. They probably get tired of me, but I'm going to coach them all the way through the game.
So we're set to go. 2nd and 7. Here comes the blitz. Rondé Barber catches him high, and they bring him down low. The 3rd sack of the ball game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, you can see Rondé Barber come between the right guard and right tackle. Corbin Lucina and Garrido. There's 20 coming into your picture. I mean, clean. Berline never had a shot to even get rid of the football and to save the sack.
Derek Brooks will get the sack officially, but Rondé Barber blitzing from that cornerback slot should get a lot of the credit.
Well, defensive coordinator Monty Kiffin had a long time to think about that blitz, you know, during that delay. And they timed it just right. That's the key to a blitz also, Kurt, is how well you time it. It isn't necessarily where you go with the blitz or who comes, but it's the timing of it. And Barber was right in that seam just at the snap of the ball.
And Tampa Bay called a timeout there. Rondé Barber, twin brother, yeah. Tiki Barber, plays for the New York Giants. We got a whole set of brothers in this game. I mean, if you look all over the field on both sides of the ball, yeah. Tampa Bay has Rondé Barber. Carolina has Jason Peter, whose brother Christian plays with the New York Giants.
And all those 4 of those brothers were on the field, Kurt, just 2 weeks ago here for that Giant Tampa Bay game.
Well, you've also got Michael Bates. His brother Mario plays with the Arizona Cardinals. And then there's Rocket Ismail, whose brother Kadri plays with the New Orleans Saints. There are 13 pairs of brothers playing right now in the National Football League. And Brian Baldinger, you know a little something about brothers playing in the National Football League.
Yeah, we did, Kurt. We had 3 of us playing at one time. You know, and then, you know, it was just a real fun time. We all had each other's scouting report. We'd all hook up on conference calls each Sunday night after the game.
3rd and 11 from the 25 for Carolina. Johnson. It's going to pick up 4 yards. Tampa Bay is going to call another timeout. Brad Culpepper with the tackle.
It's a smart move because it gives Carl Williams, a dangerous punt returner, a chance to make a play. And he'll be back there trying to catch the Ken Walter punch here.
Coming up next is the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader as Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys head into Soldier Field where they're clashed with Curtis Enos and the rest of the Chicago Bears. Don't miss more exciting NFL action coming up next on Fox. And later on tonight, we got World Series baseball, so all you got to do is just sit down on the couch, grab a little popcorn, something to drink, put your feet up, and just keep it on Fox all day long. You got football, baseball. What more do you want?
Yeah, that's a sportsman paradise right there. I'm curious, Emmitt Smith in Dallas, 2 straight games now over 100 yards, going for a 3rd straight. Looks like he's returning back to form.
Well, Chad Gailey certainly has that offense moving at 3-1 under Jason Garrett, something I think anyone thought if they could play, they would have been happy. Ken Walter with the punt. Another short one. Carl Williams back to receive, lets it bounce. Takes a Carolina bounce and rolls out of bounds, but Walter has had trouble all day. That 40-yard punt was his longest of the afternoon. Tampa Bay takes it over with 14 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Trent Dilfer has missed a couple of open receivers today that could have been touchdowns. They had a nice play-action pass in the second quarter, middle of the second quarter, to Bert Emanuel. He overthrew Manuel. And then he had his tight end early in the first quarter, Davey Moore, open towards the end zone and overthrew him. And now this is an opportunity right here to take a shot. I mean, why not? Now they're struggling on offense, haven't scored an offensive touchdown in 6 games in the first half. I think you go out there and you take a shot at one of these receivers that have a lot of speed.
They come out with 3 receivers. Go for the pass. Complete over the middle. Bernie Manuel with the catch gets it across midfield, and the Buccaneers call their final timeout. 20-yard pickup on that play.
Bert Emanuel making his presence felt back here. Going to go against a real soft cushion right here. Just don't get beat deep. I mean, that's the mantra right there by Rod Smith, who had trouble against Dallas last week. Started the game against the Cowboys a week ago and got beat early in the game by Ernie Mills, a former Panther, twice, and they got replaced by Doug Evans. Now you get the ball over midfield right here with 7 seconds left. You take another shot. You take another shot and you go play jump ball and a Hail Mary effort. And maybe you come down with it. Emmanuel, just 2 catches so far today. But I think he's made his presence felt. I mean, they've taken a shot with him. Like I said, missed on a play action. And Dilfer was saying that Emmanuel is the #1 receiver. He plays hurt. He's tough. He goes over the middle. He makes the tough catch. He's glad that he's here in Tampa.
1st and 10 from the 49. 3 receivers in the game for the Bucs. Dilfer. Complete. That's Reed Anthony with the catch. He dances around and the clock runs out. So game 6 of the season for the Buccaneers. They have yet to have a first half offensive touchdown. This one's all tied at 3. That's the end of the first half. The score 3-all. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these messages.
This November on Fox, it's a rush. A monster month featuring the broadcast premiere of The Lost World.
Mommy's very angry.
The season premiere of The X-Files. A live Halloween concert with Kiss. Luke Perry's return to 90210. Will Charlie be a father on Party of 5? Magic's Biggest Secrets 4. The world's most shocking moments caught on tape. Plus huge episodes of Ally McBeal, King of the Hill, and The Simpsons. November on Fox. It's a rush.
There's a new breed of projection TV in town. Presenting RCA Digital Focus. For our clearest, sharpest, brightest picture yet. Just in time for the big party.
You watch the games, now prepare for them with television's premier X&O football show, Edge NFL Matchup. Your host, Stuart Scott, guides you through each week's games with expert analysis from Merrill Hodge and Ron Jaworski. Next week, Mark Brunell and the Jaguars are looking for an apology for the rude manner that Terrell Davis and the Broncos asked them to leave last year's playoff party. Now that you know when class is in session, make your study plans today.
It's not easy being Damon. You know, the place for ribs. Every time we turn around, we're being challenged. Their ribs against ours. But hey, we're always willing to engage in a little friendly competition because all we have to do to come out on top is follow our recipe. So come on, the next time you're in the mood for award-winning ribs, the first and only place to think of is Damon's, the place for ribs.
Check us out on the web for the location nearest you.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Damon's Clubhouse Restaurants.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
As we welcome you to the Visa Halftime Show, baseball took center stage on Fox last night, as did the much-maligned Tino Martinez. In the bottom of the seventh, the game deadlocked at 5. This grand slam gave the Yankees the victory. They go on to win it 9-6, take a 1-game-to-none lead. Game 2 will take center stage tonight on Fox. Andy Ashby against El Duque, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. As we welcome you to the Visa Halftime here in Studio 2A, full house with Chris, Howie, Terry, and yours truly, JB. Get you caught up on the scores and highlights around the league. Scintillating field goal kicker battle in Tampa Bay. Norv Turner not scintillating there.
Hoping to get a victory on the road, but boy, it looks rough. Right off the bat, though, Matt Turk's punt hit by Vikings. Hits Randy Moss right in the back, recovered by Darrell Pounds. This lead to a 1-yard Terry Allen touchdown. 7-0 Skins. Back come the Vikings. Andrew Glitter from 11 yards out. It's tied up 7-all. Eventually, halftime. Look at it. Nice job. 14-7 Vikings over the Redskins.
Why did you chuckle when I said scintillating Norv Turner? Danny Cannell.
Danny Cannell hoping to get things going. Why not gamble? You bet. 4th down and 1 to go. Roll right. Option runner pass. There's Charles way into the end zone. Touchdown pass. Giants up 7-zip. Then Gary Brown. Nice. I don't know what that is. Big guy's doing a lot of flopping around out there, though. Gary Brown, good seal-in blocking. Seal everybody inside, Howie. Brown to the outside. Cardinals 7, Giants 14 at the half.
You're a nice teacher keeping everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Kerry Collins looking for a second chance.
Yes, sir. Why we show that warm-up shot of him, I don't know. He ain't playing. But this guy is Lamar Smith. Pitch to the I-back. Good box. Kicked out inside, 5-yard touchdown run. Saints on top 7-3. Play act. No, Jamal Anderson. Back up inside. Howie bounces to the outside. Chris Carter dives for the end zone like Chris used to do at Florida. There's your touchdown run of 31 yards. Then same look again, only this time play action, roll right, gets the safeties out of the middle. Touchdown pass covers 45 yards. Chandler to Tony Martin. And the Atlanta Falcons looking awfully impressive, as are the Saints, 17-14 at the half.
In Buffalo, Doug Flutie at the helm right now. They're all tied with undefeated Jacksonville to score 7-all there. Steelers and Ravens. Boy, there's an exciting looking battle as well. 6-3 Ravens on top, and Chris Collinsworth's Bengals. Chris says it didn't pick him this week. McNair guided his team to a 17-0 lead. Tampa Bay has not scored an offensive touchdown in the first half all season long, looking sluggish.
Yeah, they really are. And I thought that getting Bert Emanuel back this week might really help them on the offensive side, but it simply is not. I'm not surprised that Carolina is struggling on the offensive side simply because their offensive line just so banged up and going up against an excellent defensive line from Tampa Bay. But I don't know how you explain Tampa's offensive woes. They simply have not gotten it done all season long.
Yeah, really what it comes down to, as Matt Millen pointed out, is they've had the opportunities, they've moved the ball down the field, and Trent Dilfer, whether it's a botch snap to the center, and this is week 7, I don't know how that happens, and overthrowing receivers. He has to pick it up and take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves because they're so few and far between.
Now, you got to open this thing up. Trent Dilfer has missed 2 deep passes in the first half, and they are trying to get the ball down the football field, and you got to do that. You cannot just give the ball to Ostott and Warren. Done. You got to move the football, throw in the football. And in the first half, although they put up good numbers, they've totally controlled this game. Tampa Bay, once again, no touchdowns. Hard to figure.
We'll see what the second half has to offer. Now, we all know that Terry is getting set for the off-Broadway play, Meg Bubba. And as we asked you during the pregame show,
A2.
Hey, Terry now turns, the Bard turns barber. Should he have the goatee or not? Two goatee or not?
You mean that's what we've come down to?
That is the question. Log on to our internet site to find out what the answer is. Yeah, how about that? No question about it.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Game 1 of the World Series, Chuck Knobloch and Tino Martinez delivered the big blows as the Yankees stormed from behind to win. Now it's on to Game 2 as Greg Vaughn, Tony Gwynn, and the Padres look to even things up. It's Game 2 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
Charlotte is a dynamic city of the New South, a leading financial center, and a great place to visit. From the natural beauty, mild year-round climate to numerous attractions and events. From our can-do spirit to our pro-business attitude, to our commitment to education and the arts, Charlotte is a place we proudly call home. The city is also home to the NFL Carolina Panthers, who are proud to represent America's fastest-growing region. Charlotte, a city of endless opportunity.
Who has the shortest hemlines?
We always enjoy competition.
Melrose Place and Ally McBeal square off on Miniskirt Monday. First, will Amanda's darkest secret
Never tell another soul.
finally be revealed?
I didn't get where I am by backing off.
An all-new Melrose Place. Then, how far will Ally go to defend her outrageous hemline?
I'm happy to jump on the cause.
Thanks.
An all-new Ally McBeal, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on Fox's Miniskirt Monday.
Buccaneers Cove watching Carolina and Tampa Bay battle to a 3-3 halftime tie here in Tampa. Remember, for those of you who are internet inclined, or you call it question of the week, what team will score last in the second half of our ball game here between the Bucs and Carolina Panthers? Just log on to www.foxsports.com to answer. We will be right back with the start of the second half action between the Panthers and the Buccaneers after these words from your local Fox station.
Awesome NFL coverage and John Madden? Log on to foxsports.com.
Please, Dad, just one more time.
One more time. If I made the Miller Lite really, really good football team, cheerleaders would dig me. I'd have my own football card. I might even win a trip to the Super Bowl.
Just by competing in fun games wherever I buy or drink Miller Lite.
That's right, Steve. It's fun to be me, but I'd rather be on the Miller Lite really, really good football team.
One more time.
You're going to be one sleepy nuclear physicist tomorrow.
A little chilly, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, it's all right. What am I thinking? How's that? Yeah. What do you want?
Good.
Where were we?
We were cold.
Check.
The only thing more important than your favorite receiver is your favorite card. Visa, official card of the NFL.
You look great tonight.
Thank you.
It's everywhere you want to be.
You want football? Well, we've got football. This year, Sports Illustrated wants to help you get ready for NFL 98 with the ultimate preseason package. 2 great gifts, a Riddell replica mini helmet of your choice and your favorite team's official NFL Films highlight video. Free with your paid subscription. Your Riddell replica mini helmet features the logo and colors of your favorite team. Pick a team, any team. Now the fun starts. With your official NFL team video, you'll see if your team has what it takes to be great in 98.
Keep putting the heat on them, man. Keep putting the heat on them.
Call now. Get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.47 an issue. Save 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card and we'll also send you a 100% cotton SI logo t-shirt free. Countdown to NFL 98 with the ultimate preseason package, free from Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Miller Lite.
On the field or in the game, teamwork is the key to winning in the NFL. I'm Trent Dilfer, quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here in Tampa, United Way brings together all our local resources, people from every walk of life. We're all players on the NFL United Way team, and it's working. Through teamwork, we're all creating safer, healthier, and better communities for our children, our families, and all of us. The NFL, the United Way, and you!
The power of teamwork.
Back here at Raymond James Stadium, where the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are all knotted at 3 apiece. Kurt Menefee along with Brian Baldinger. And for those of you who are on the internet, you have sent in your questions, and now we will answer them. Today's Ask the Pros question, sent in from Steve Tyler, not the singer, from Jonesboro, Arkansas. How important is Bert Emanuel in his return to Tampa Bay today? And I will ask the pro, Brian, how important is Bert Emanuel?
Well, I've seen that he's important today. They started right out of the game today going after Emanuel. Then they've taken a shot deep in the second quarter, and Dilfer missed him. And then we saw him later in the game come back to him. I think Dilfer stretches the defense. I think he's valuable, and I think that Dilfer has confidence in him.
And it's not so much when you've got a guy like that, what he does. It's the threat of what he does.
That's right. And I think that they've already changed their defense to accommodate Emanuel. They're putting Eric Davis everywhere Emanuel goes on the field, and he's shadowing him out there today, which is different than what the Panthers like to play.
Well, you want to talk about defense. Carolina quarterback Steve Berline knows just about everybody on this Tampa Bay defense, and it's something that I'm sure he didn't want to do. A rough afternoon so far for him. 3 sacks, and has been roughed up even when he didn't have the ball.
Well, you know, Sapp should put a blue jersey on because he looks like he's playing for Carolina as much time as he's spending in the backfield. You're going to see Berline patting him on the helmet right here. Yeah, he knows who's sitting on top of him, ready to play some leapfrog. And, you know, and Berline came into today with a sore shoulder, and I'm sure that shoulder, you know, doesn't feel any better after the first half.
So Derek Brooks got 1 sack. Rodney Barber really helped him, but Warren Sapp has 2 sacks, and he's a guy who's been kind of criticized so far this year about maybe not coming in with the right attitude and being a little bit overweight after last year.
Well, you know, young guys enjoy success, and I think, you know, right now Sapp enjoyed a little bit of success in the offseason, and now he's trying to play himself into shape.
Ball is loose on the kickoff return. Carolina did recover it. Carolina did recover the ball, and they will start. Jeff Brady for the Panthers with the recovery.
Michael Bates going for the 3rd year in a row of leading the National Football League in kickoff return average, but he gets popped right there by Donnie Abraham, number 21. I mean, a real shot to start the second half. Tampa Bay letting Carolina know that this is going to be a ball game here this half.
1st and 10 for it from the 27 for Carolina. Berline runs out of time, throws it to Rocket Ismail, but there's a flag down on the play. Now they say Ismail did catch it, but the question is, what's the penalty flag?
You know, Sapp was sitting on top of Berline again. And a lot of young guys playing that offensive line for Carolina.
Number 79 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Complete first down.
And that's Rob Bollinger making his first start in the NFL as a rookie, trying to fight off Reagan Upshaw.
Here's Bollinger over here. He's going up against Reagan Upshaw, and he's trying to hold him out, and there's Sapp again. You know, we saw at halftime Sapp living in that backfield, starts the second half there.
1st and 20 from the 17 instead. Handoff to Fred Lane. Lane fights his way out to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 7.
A couple things jumped out at me at the first half stats. You know, certainly the Buccaneers right here with a lot of yards. But a big part of Tampa Bay's defense is limiting the defense out there and how many plays they play. They held Carolina to 21 plays in the first half. Ultimately, Kurt, they would like to hold teams to 50 to 52 plays. You know, this team cannot stay on the field a long time. They're not big. They're not physical. They're out there longer than 52 plays. They tend to get worn down.
2nd and long for Berline and the Panthers. Handoff to Lane. Lane out in the open field, hit hard. Man, there's some hitting going on down there on the field. Charles Mincy, the safety, comes up and pops Lane right away.
Yeah, these 2 safeties now, they play deep when they're in that 2 safety defense, and they get a running start here. Fred Lane, nice job running right behind the right guard, Corbin Lucina. And there's one pop. You know, now here comes Lynch coming. And that's the swarm. You know, they talk about the identity of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They call the defense the swarm. Yeah, and you see white jerseys flying to the football.
On 3rd down and 6, they need to get it to the 38-yard line.
Beuerlein changing the play, and it's loud out there, hard to hear.
Buck showing blitz. They come. Quick pass to Masin Muhammad. Slips the tackle, gets enough for the first down out to the 43-yard line. A pickup of 12.
Oh, what a play by Steve Beuerlein. And we said this team is rallying around their new leader. And what a gutty performance right here. You're going to see him pat his helmet. Now he's going right to Muhammad against Abraham. Good job picking up the blitz. And with Culpepper on top of him, again, on top of the right shoulder. He threw a perfect pass to Muhammad.
The Panthers were the 1st and 10 from the 43. Rocket Ismail in motion. The handoff is to Lane. Lane out to about the 47-yard line. Hardy Nickerson on the tackle. Brad Culpepper helping out.
You're going to see Warren Sapp here changing the flow of this play. I mean, here he is, going against Norberto Davids right here. And watch the penetration that Sapp gets. Up against Corbin Lucina, forces Lane to cut back inside, and that's where the pursuit is waiting for. He's playing a wide tackle position, almost out to the offensive tackle.
Floyd and Lane in the backfield behind Beuerlein. Pass complete to Ismail, and Rocket slips through a tackle. John Lynch holds on and pulls him down just across the 40-yard line, all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, look at the cushion right here of Anthony Parker against Ismail. All kinds of room to run in here, and Beuerlein sees that as soon as he comes to the line. Just a 5-yard stop. They want to move the chains. All they need is, you know, they knew exactly how much they needed for the first down. Now Ismail off to his best start ever in his career.
Had 116 yards receiving last week. Gets the handoff Fred Lane this time. Derek Brooks, the Pro Bowler, brings him down. Warren Sapp there as part of it. There's a flag down late.
Yeah, William Floyd and Brooks are going at it verbally on the field. And Floyd, you know, got a couple extra pushes in. He's got to be careful right here. Because he's going to get thrown out of this game if he touches that zebra stripe one more time. So Freddie Lane trying to walk him out now.
Beuerlein going over and talking to him as well. And you don't want to get thrown out of a game like this, nor do you want to cost your team some yardage. And Floyd's still going at it. Beuerlein is trying to stop him. I mean, Floyd is a veteran.
Yeah, and that's what the leader, Beuerlein's got to do here. He's got to grab him by the face mask, and they got to get him off the field. As he just cost the team 15 yards. Here's Floyd right here. He's down on the ground. He's going after Hardy Nickerson.
He took a shot there and punched him once already.
Yeah, and now Nickerson's going to get up and answer it. And sometimes it's the second guy that gets the flag. And that's what they saw. They saw Nickerson with the two-hand shiver at Floyd and the spit. Did you see that?
That's what William Floyd was so upset about. He threw the first punch, but he was upset about being spat on.
Yeah, you're going to see this right here. Yeah, you see that? See the spray coming out there? That's what got Floyd upset. That's why Floyd stayed after him. He just got spit at.
Reminiscent of Bill Romanowski in the Monday night game from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Two guys competing, but there's no place for that.
Tony Dungy tried to take up for his man, Hardy Nickerson.
It all started because Floyd pushed Nickerson when he's down on the ground.
One of the things Tony Dungy has spoken so much about is how poised his team is, despite the fact they're the second youngest squad in the NFL. But Hardy Nickerson lost it there, and he's a 12-year veteran.
Yeah, and Tony Dungy is a poised guy. I asked him the other day, does he have an intensity that the public doesn't get to see? And he says, man, I'm a volcano on the inside. You know, but he holds it well on the outside for his players to emulate.
1st and 10 from the 17. Handoff to Fred Lane. Lane gets nowhere. John Lynch on the tackle.
Now, here they are right here. You know, they're still around. They're still talking to each other right here. You know, I don't see anything coming out of the helmet there. Well, Floyd's going to be ISOing here on the linebacker. He's going back after. There he is against Nickerson. That's some of the best blocking I've seen William Floyd do in the last couple of weeks. And I don't think that he was that good against Dallas a week ago.
So on 2nd and 9, complete. Lane inside the 10, down just shy of the goal line. Jeff Gooch with the tackle, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, a lot of jawing going inside between Floyd and Nickerson, but that guy has stayed cool. Look at him, talking to all of his players. Here we are. We need 7 right here. And watch Burline in his pocket because Reagan Upshaw to the right of the screen over here is coming, and he knows it. But he stayed in there. He waited for Lane to uncover. And Lane is tough, man. I tell you. Lane ain't afraid to dish it out now.
1st and goal just inside the 2-yard line. Lane stops. Hardy Nickerson grabs him by the ankle. Going to lose a couple yards on that play, and this is something the Buccaneers should be used to because inside the red zone, they're just about as good as it gets in the National Football League.
This is when they really rise up. I think Tampa Bay in this defense needs a challenge. You know, and when teams get into the red zone right there in 4 games, you know, 16%, first in the NFC, and I think it started a couple years ago. Herman Edwards told us they had a bust at Jacksonville, 5 o'clock in the morning for a scrimmage. They got off the bus, they held Jacksonville out of the end zone 14 times in a row in the red zone.
2nd and goal, play action. Almost picked off. John Lynch breaks it up.
Boy, and Lynch was going for it all. I mean, Lynch is a hitter, and he's a headhunter, and he goes after people. Not in a malicious way, he's a physical player. But Lynch reads this play all the way. And Burline floats this ball out to Floyd, and Lynch right there was thinking about 6 points the other direction. Acrobatic, he's upset with himself because we talk about how stout this defense plays in the red zone. It's hard to hear right now. He had a chance to go make a play.
3rd and goal from the 3. With time, throws it incomplete, intended for William Floyd.
Yeah, and that's Sapp and Upshaw, and I think this defense needs this type of test to really rise up and play at its best. And it just seems like it draws the best out of it. You're going to see from the left side of your screen, Reagan Upshaw again, 91 against Rod Bollinger. You know, putting the heat on Burline, making him throw that ball off his back foot. I don't think Floyd would have gotten in the end zone anyways.
This is going to be a 20-yard field goal attempt by Casey. And it's good. Gives the Carolina Panthers the lead. 6-3 on a 20-yard field goal from John Casey. The Panthers on top.
It's an idea that's been around for a pretty long time. At Southwest Airlines, we call it Friends Fly Free. Just buy a round-trip full-fare ticket, and a friend comes along absolutely free. Of course, like any great deal, it doesn't last forever. So purchase your tickets by December 9th, because you don't want to get left behind.
You are now free to move about the country.
So, you thought you knew everything about the Sicilian, huh? Well, I got news for you. Now it's in a whole nother league. This is the Supreme Sicilian. This is Ken Griffey giving a baseball a facial. This is a 300-pound gator turning you into a wallet. This is enough basil, oregano, and garlic in the crust to drop your carcass to the canvas. This is enough toppings to draw a flag for piling on. This is the Supreme Sicilian Pizza. Right now, just $8.99. But hurry, brother, soon this deal's gonna be gone. Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
I wouldn't call Charlie's parents overprotective, but maybe Charlie would.
If one pad's good, 2 pads are even better. Ouch!
His parents just want to make sure he's on the go safely.
Don't forget to buckle up.
So it figures they'd get a Ford Taurus.
Do they have enough pads on?
The only sedan starting under $20,000 to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating.
Be careful!
Oh! I wouldn't say they were overprotective.
Other way! Other way!
They're just parents. Ford Taurus, built to last.
Too slow, out of shape. Carter, why can't you prevent? This is my shield against the heat.
The shield means you're for real.
Fox, NFL Sunday is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be.
Boy, it's heating up down here in Tampa. Field temperature over 100 degrees right now, but I'll tell you what, the hottest people out there may be the Tampa Bay defense. They just stood tall just now, holding Carolina to a field goal after first and goal on the 1.
Well, they feel that's part of their home field advantage. They wear teams down, especially in the run in the third and fourth quarter.
Riedel Anthony. Actually, it's going to be Mike Allstott taking it up short. Gets it out across the 30. A bad kickoff by John Casey. Good field position for the Buccaneers as they start down by a field goal.
I heard this story about a group of tourists who were searching for Western heroes. Come on, baby. And they got a little off track. We're sunk. Luckily, their hero found them. The legendary Ford F-150.
Gary Cooper, Gary Cooper.
Looks like he could use a hand. With an available 5.4-liter Triton V8 that delivers more pulling power than Dodge or Chevy. Now there's a happy ending. Ford F-Series, built for tough.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue #1. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
It's amazing, but I feel like I'm finally free. It's like I'm king of the world!
Pep Boys, great prices, great feeling.
Pep Boys, cars like us.
People love us.
Sunday, November 8th. Trust no one.
Hello? Hello?
This season, the end is the beginning.
I told you it was here.
The X-Files, the new season, begins Sunday, November 8th on Fox.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
That's defensive assistant Herman Edwards. Remember the miracle in the Meadowlands in 1978 against the Philadelphia Eagles? Well, you know, he was with the Eagles then that time against the Giants, and he's been with Tony Dungy since they were in a Hula Bowl together at a college. In 1978, he went to play in Pittsburgh. Dungy went to play in Pittsburgh. Edwards in Philadelphia. Now they're reunited here.
Dilfer going to pass on the first down. Gets it complete. That's Riedel Anthony with the catch.
Yeah, it said that Tony Dungy started his career off in Pittsburgh. Edwards was in Philadelphia. These guys reunited in Kansas City back in the late 80s, early 90s. And they really have a lot of respect for each other. You know, and Herman Edwards and Tony Dungy, 3 years ago when they got here in 96, said, we need to toughen this team, find out who we have on it that wants to go play. They went to Jacksonville in a scrimmage. They think alike. They went up there and busted Jacksonville and kicked the snot out of them up there, especially in the red zone.
Warwick Dunn. Short game. We talk about Edwards. Edwards, the assistant head coach here, defensive backs coach, and a lot of people talk about him maybe being in that next wave of assistant coaches that are talked about for head coaching positions around the league.
Yeah, well, you know, Herman Edwards, the guy, look at him. He's right there amongst the players. He's sitting down there. He's showing all the charts right here. Those are the pictures probably from that goal line stand that they just had. Very relaxed and comfortable, and when you look at this Tampa Bay coaching staff, they're young, they're accessible, they relate well to the players. The players really like playing for them.
2nd and 9 for the Bucs. Anthony in motion. Dilfer, oh, what a sack. Kevin Green, the leading sack man in the National Football League with his 11th sack. Did you see him just dive over the offensive line?
Well, he's been quiet today, but he's going up against Jason Odom right here. You're going to see him. He's outside here against Jason Odom, the right tackle. You know, and now this is a mismatch. This is silly. You know, Warwick Dunn is supposed to trapeze artist right there at Kevin Green. I mean, it looked like he came off the trampoline.
Well, it looked like he came off the turnbuckle. He's a wrestler, man. He's coming off that turnbuckle, going right after Killer Kowalski, I think.
That was WCW stuff, Kurt.
3rd and 15. Dilfer. Flags are down. Going deep for Emmanuel. Oh, wow, incomplete. Doug Evans on the coverage. Emmanuel had it for a second, couldn't hold on, but there were flags down before the ball was even in the air.
Well, Dilfer, you know, that shows it all right there. The disappointment, you know, this penalty is to be against them. You know, they get the sack, they give up the sack, you know, and it's just, that was just designed. Putting Warwick Dunn on Kevin Green is ridiculous.
Offside. Right tackle of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
It's number 94, Sean Gilbert, who actually was the guy offside.
Watch the effort, though, by Bert Emanuel laying out for this football. Again, Dilfer taking a shot down the field against Doug Evans. You know, who's wounded. He's got one hand out there. You know, a big cast on the left hand.
Bucks need to get to the Carolina 49 for the first. Dilfer intercepted. Doug Evans across midfield, knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line, but he's playing with a huge cast on his left thumb, still able to pick up the ball there. Only his second interception of the season is going to set the Panthers up from the Buccaneer 41 when we come back.
55. What'll it be?
We'll take some rice and...
Get some pork, too.
Yeah.
Now you can choose which teams you see every Sunday with DirecTV and NFL Sunday Ticket. Regular season games a week.
Front check on far.
So stock up on all your favorites.
Hey, Brett. Hey, John.
NFL Sunday Ticket. It's not on cable. See it on DirecTV. So what are you looking at?
I'm not here because I want to be. No, I have to be. Because the ground can't speak for itself. It can't say to the basketball player, get off me. It can't say to the runner, do you mind you're stepping on my head? These seem like dark days. But there's a song of hope. Nike Tuned Air. Cushioning and stability for the individual athlete, no matter what the sport. This ain't a shoe, it's a pillow. A pillow that's going to protect our sweet, precious ground. Spread the word.
Available exclusively at Champ Sports and all Foot Lockers.
Yo, they used to say every day, you so fat they orbit you. You so fat your belly button's a pool. Every day they used to say. Now, you the fat that starts with a P. P-H. That's the PhD, yo. And cool and tough and all that. You so fat they take you on double, kid. So fat cat you worth the trouble. That fat. The kind that matters. And you don't mind you getting fatter.
In just 5 days, this man will go to hell and back in the name of justice. Brimstone premieres Friday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
And that's the hero right there, Doug Evans. And you're going to see on the left hand, I mean, this is like a watermelon that is around his wrist. You know, and that's what he's been playing with. And just imagine if you're a secretary and you've got a watermelon around your typing hand. And you're going to answer the phone and type. And right here, Emmanuel slips and stumbles, but Evans making his first interception since that thumb has been injured.
Fred Lane with the carry from the 41. Steve White with the tackle.
You know, Doug Evans came here, big free agent pickup from Green Bay, was a 4-year starter there. But this is what you're trying to play with. It affects everything that he does on the left hand. I mean, it affects the way that he runs, the way he lays out for the football. He's 6'2". He's a big physical corner, but yet he can't get that hand on a receiver. He can't jam him off the line. You know, he's been playing like a one-armed bandit this year. Really very heroic, too, because he knows he's not the same guy. He knows he's been ridiculed, but yet he goes out there and performs every Sunday.
2nd and 9. That's complete. Hussein Muhammad with the catch. Pushed out of bounds. Anthony Parker, not as big as Muhammad, but he certainly got him out there. But there was a lot of hard hitting going on. Take a listen.
Mincy right there. Yeah, Mincy coming up there and deliver the hit. But right now, I think Carolina is finding a groove on offense. This Tampa Bay defense has been out there on the field a long time this third quarter.
On 3rd down, they need to get to the 31. Buccaneers showing blitz again. And they're coming again. Quick pass, complete, That's the Masin Muhammad. Muhammad fights his way close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
You know, if you're going to come up and blitz Burline, I think you got to play tight coverage with your corner, and you got to challenge the receivers. And behind that blitz, Tampa Bay is playing a soft coverage. I mean, here comes Lynch, 47 right here. He's coming on the blitz. Linebacker Nickerson comes. But there, Anthony Parker giving Muhammad, who's big and physical, 6'3", 217-pound wide receiver, room to operate. Burline will take that mismatch every time.
So it's first down from the 30. Handoff to Lane. Hardy Nickerson brings him down after a short pickup. For him in the first half and the second half, it's amazing when you look at the numbers from this game so far. Between the disparity between the two teams, Tampa Bay dominating in the first half, just the opposite now.
You're going to see Kurt, like they only had the ball 18 plays in the first half. They only got 97 yards, but here already we've seen a 13-play drive from them to start the second half. They're controlling the football right now and keeping Tampa Bay's defense out there on the field a long time.
Burline calls a timeout at the line of scrimmage. Carolina's first of the second half here. 3:28 left to go in the third quarter. Panthers on top and marching.
Francesco Lafabula has just created the little black dress that will change everything. The magazines have created a frenzy, and you have sworn that your stores will be the first to carry it. Enter UPS. Customs gets cleared electronically. The global network kicks in. Also that at the same time, on the same day, the dresses arrive from Europe to each of your stores nationwide. Success is a beautiful thing.
Nice dress.
UPS, moving at the speed of business.
If it takes forever, I will wait for you for 1,000 summers. I will wait for you.
There's certain things you just can't live without.
Okay. I'm back.
A good receiver is one of them. Visa's the other.
Sure. Yeah. Don't tell the guys about the flowers.
Official card of the NFL and everywhere you want to be.
Due to circumstances beyond our control, tonight's game is canceled.
Take your skates off, eh?
What's up, Coach? The game's postponed. What? What do you mean? Some guy came in with a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. Oh, they're good. It was so hot, the ice melted. Again? Oh, for the love of Pete.
Wendy's Spicy Chicken is a whole breast filet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices. It's one hot sandwich.
That's the second time this week, Dave. Sorry.
Wendy's Spicy Chicken, when you're hot, you're hot.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us. By Energizer Advanced Formula Battery, no battery lasts longer. And by Foot Locker. Check out your favorite shoes and apparel at Foot Locker. Foot Locker reminds you to play big.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense trying to stand tall again, leading it or making trailing 6-3, 3:28 to go in the third quarter. Panthers have it 2nd and 8 on the 28. Burline with time over the middle to Wesley Walls inside the 5-yard line, brought down at the 2.
Walls, the biggest catch of the year so far for the guy. Pro Bowl tight end the past 2 seasons. Gets down the middle of the field against linebacker Jeff Gooch. They're going to see Walls is right over here. He's going to come down the field, and he's going to get picked up here by Gooch. And Gooch got caught in the soup in the middle because Walls gave a great fake at the line of scrimmage like he was going to block, delayed, and then came down the seam. Burline had time, and he had guts stepping up in the pocket to make the throw.
Walls, the 25-yard reception, his longest of the season, gets him down to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Burline under pressure, gets rid of it, incomplete. Intended for Luther Broughton. Derek Brooks on the coverage.
You see, they would like to have Wesley Walls in there on that route rather than Luther Broughton. But Walls was tired from the last play. And here's Broughton right here. He's going to come out and run a circle route. He gets picked up well on the outside by linebacker Brooks. And again, Burline taking a shot. You see, he's grimacing a little bit. And the only thing that sets him right there is he didn't get 6 points.
2nd and goal from the 1. Handoff to Fred Lane into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina Panthers. And Fred Lane getting jiggy with it after he scores the touchdown. Put the Panthers up 12-3 pending the extra point.
Yeah, and this is Berline's team. And his team is following Berline's direction. And, you know, they said that things weren't right before Kerry Collins got dismissed. You know, and it wasn't just that incident, but they were waiting for somebody to come in and take charge of this team and have a team rally around him. And Berline, who pronounced himself the new sheriff in town, looks like he's fitting that.
Somebody moved a little early there on the extra point attempt.
Yeah, Rondé Barber on the outside. Fred Lane going to run right behind Brian Stoltenberg, the center.
Prior to the snap, ball start, number 76 in the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So here's the touchdown right here. I mean, Fred Lane's going to take it right up the gut behind Lucina and Stoltenberg. See that good lead block by Floyd. Hug the fullback, stay close. I'm telling you, man, I blow my MCL right there on that dance, Kurt. I'm down there on the ground, and I need an operation tomorrow.
So now Casey on for the extra point attempt. 5 yards longer than normal, but still short distance if you're a kicker. It's good. The Carolina Panthers go up by 10, 13-3. They lead it here in Tampa Bay.
I don't want to buy a new PC every year till commencement. I needed one that would keep up with them. Gotta save something for college.
Introducing your wear from Gateway. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and we'll custom build you a Gateway PC with an Intel processor and CD-ROM. Now for only $31 a month. And in 2 years, you could trade it in toward the purchase of a new one.
You guys make sneakers?
Call us now and let's talk about your wear from Gateway.
Fitting in, schmitting in.
What
The RAV4. Stock for everyone. Only you.
On Fox, NFL Sunday, Randy Moss, Barry Sanders. The explosive Vikings look to shoot down the Lions in a bitter division rivalry. Or Eric Kramer and the Bears get it on with Eddie George and the Oilers. Fox, NFL Sunday. Coverage begins next week at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Come inside, come inside.
It's Game 2 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
How far will Allie go to defend her hemline?
I'm happy to jump on the cause.
Thanks.
An all-new Ally McBeal tomorrow on Fox.
The Carolina Panthers up by 10 in search of their first win of the season. Steve Berline has really taken control of this team last week, despite the fact they lost in the last play of the game, and this week, Brian.
Well, he's the spark that I think this team needed. And Dom Capers said, you know, when a team goes under some adversity like it did this week, either you come apart or you circle the wagons. And Steve Berline has brought this team together, and they're rallying around him today.
John Casey kicking off. A little squiver down the middle of the field, taken up short. Jerry Ellison with the return. Gets it out to the 27-yard line. Spencer Reed with the tackle.
And Kurt, you know, you're going to see the touchdown here by Freddie Lane. I mean, just a good job of lead blocking by Floyd, and then on the right side behind Lucina and Garrido. You know, and Lane, you know, untouched. We've just seen a goal line stand by Tampa Bay the series before. Not up to the task that time.
Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 from their own 28, find themselves in the 10-point hole. Dilfer changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 4-3, gets it off. Brought down, tries to flip it away and gets it off. Warwick Dunn with the catch. Greg Lloyd had Trent Dilfer in his possession, this close to sacking him, but Trent got it off.
That's almost a dangerous play by Dilfer, who's trying to make a play, but Greg Lloyd coming from his right outside linebacker position right here, going up against Paul Gruber, and there's a mistake again, putting Warwick Dunn on the outside linebacker. You know, right there, that's dangerous. That's dangerous in your own territory. They didn't get anything out of it, but again, Lloyd against Dunn, the way we saw Green against Dunn, this is a mistake in the offense right here, and the offense's design.
2nd and 11, Dilfer. Dumps it off to Allstott, makes a one-handed catch, but he's going to lose yards again. Michael Barrow with the tackle.
Now you hear the boos from these fans right here. And Dilfer trying to make a play, looking down the field right here. Everybody covered. You see him, he's looking to the outside. There's nobody there. He has to go to a safety valve. Boy, I almost really floated that one. Michael Barrow, who's had a big afternoon here. The Panthers' leading tackler has been making some plays across the field today.
3rd down at 11. Tampa Bay about twice what they've been averaging so far in this game. Dilfer going deep. That's Bernie Manuel is going afterward, but Emmanuel cut in and he threw it outside. Rod Smith on the coverage. Listen to that crowd.
Trent Dilfer told us that, you know, this can be an ugly offense. And, you know, it's up to me to be able to do the little things well to make this thing go. But again, he's going against Rod Smith at the top of the screen right here. He closes the distance on Rod well. But Dilfer, again, throws it to the outside and not to the inside where Emmanuel had a step on Smith.
Tommy Barnhart in for his 3rd punt of the afternoon. Winslow Oliver, back penalty. Takes it at the 22. Up the sideline. He's got Barnhart to beat. The punter gets him down. A nice return by Winslow Oliver. 50-yard punt by Barnhart. 32 yards on the return by Oliver.
And Oliver just made Barnhart pay for that punt, too. Has put a hit on Tommy Barnhart. You're going to see this right here. I mean, this is what you call making that punter cough up a little blood. You know, make him pay a little bit. He's got pads on, too. Barnhart wants to find out who hit him. He knows who hit him.
There's a penalty flag down.
Number 84, during the return, 10-yard penalty.
That's Luther Broughton, the tight end, called for the penalty. Hey, tonight it's Game 2 of the World Series as Andy Ashby leads the Padres against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and the rest of the Yankees. Game 2 of the World Series tonight beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, immediately following our NFL doubleheader action here on Fox. 29 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Carolina with a 13-10 lead, 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
This has been Carolina's quarter, the whole quarter.
A handoff to Lane. Fred Lane stopped by Hardy Nickerson and Derek Brooks.
Freddie Lane, who missed the plane last week, isn't late for the plane today. You know, Luther Broughton went by his house, said, I'll provide limousine service, Freddie. I want you out in the field with me today. He drove him to the airport. He was there an hour early this week, and he's glad he's on time.
I don't think he needs a ride. He seems to be carrying the Panthers on his back right now. 13-3, they lead it at the end of the 3rd quarter. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local station.
The Lost World with no scenes added, premiering in 2 weeks.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star Game. These cars are amazing, and the fans love them.
Yeah, and who wouldn't? I mean, with stats like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate. Join the team today by calling 1-800-NFL-9919 and get an officially licensed NFL team duffel bag free after the first use of your new NFL Visa card.
NFL Team Visa cards take you where the action is. Call 1-800-NFL-9919 today to receive your free NFL duffel bag.
C'est si bon de partir n'importe où. Bras dessus, en chantant des chansons. C'est si bon de se dire des mots doux, de petits rien du tout, mais qui en disent en langue.
Some people choose Damon's Clubhouse for our award-winning barbecued ribs. Others like our steaks, chicken, seafood, prime rib, and of course, Damon's famous onion loaf. But everyone agrees, when it comes to hard-hitting, action-packed sports entertainment, Damon's Clubhouse is the next best thing to being there.
Damon's, the official restaurant of NFL Sunday Ticket. Stop by for the best barbecued ribs and a whole lot more. Check out our locations at www.damons.com.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Visa.
Kurt Menefee and Brian Baldinger down here in Tampa, where the Carolina Panthers, despite all the adversity of having a new quarterback in last week and Kerry Collins being the dominant topic of conversation this week, have a 10-point lead going into the final period.
Yeah, and you know what, Kurt? A good football team, a well-coached team, purges their problems from within. They got strong leadership here. They've done that. They started off 0-5 in 1995, Kurt. Won 7 over the last 11. Don Capers feels that if this team can rally, they can get some of the injured players back healthy, that they can make a run here and make things respectable. They're not talking playoffs, but they think they need some success today, and they can build some momentum.
And that's Rocket Ismail with the 8-yard reception, good enough for a Carolina first down, but there is an injured player on the field right now. Remember the Buccaneers. Can't catch a number just yet. Don't want to speculate on something like this.
And the Buccaneers have been pretty healthy this year. They lost Chidi Ahanatu to a shoulder surgery last week, and Jeff Brome had surgery at the start of the season. Those are the only 2 injuries all season.
Donnie Abraham, the man down. We'll tell you all about him when we come back.
How does it feel to drive the luxurious Lexus LS 400? Now you know.
Welcome, Dave. It's been a long time.
Sure has, Red.
You got a spicy chicken sandwich, but here, try this.
Not bad.
Water?
No, thanks. Now try Wendy's spicy chicken.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is a whole breast fillet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices. It's one very delicious, very spicy sandwich.
Please.
Try Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich and long live the king.
The ground is your silent teammate. It don't trash talk, it don't showboat. You think you're dribbling? Nah, you're passing. Check it out. You pass to the ground passes it right back. And when your teammate, the ground, sees you kicking in these sweet Nike-tuned Air basketball shoes, these little miracles of cushion and stability, the ground will know you got game. Excuse me while I kiss the ground. High five, teammate. High five. High five. Yo, who put this gum here?
Available exclusively at all Foot Lockers and Champ Sports.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Toyota Trucks, with you for the long haul. By Wendy's Spicy Chicken Sandwich. When you're hot, you're hot. By Aetna Retirement Services. And by IBM. Are you ready for e-business?
Here at Raymond James Stadium, the injured Buccaneer left cornerback Donnie Abraham being carried off on a cart. And Brian, he was really injured after the play was over.
Yeah, he was down on the ground after he made the hit on Ismail over here. And you're going to see Warren Sapp, number 99, come into the screen. Now, Sapp, about 320 pounds, can't quite get that left leg over. And right there, Abraham's left knee gets bent backwards. Sapp didn't quite hurdle Abraham. They had to bring the cart on to bring him out. You know, and defensive linemen, you know, they run through the chutes every day, picking up their feet. Sapp at the end of that drive, or at that end of the run, couldn't quite get over Abraham.
First and 10 for Carolina from the Tampa Bay 48-yard line. William Floyd, the fullback, takes it out to the 46, a pickup of 2. Hardy Nicholson on the tackle. The Panthers with another injury themselves, and they've been battling it all season long. One injury after another. Now their tight end Wesley Walls is having x-rays right now on his right hand to see if there's anything damaged there.
Yeah, in for Wesley Walls is 84 Luther Broughton, second-year player out of Furman. He's in there playing right now. A couple guys going down here for both Carolina and Tampa Bay today, and there's Broughton in there for Walls.
2nd and 8 from the 46. Broughton is the man in motion. Lane with the carry. Fred Lane at the 41-yard line. Reagan Upshaw with the tackle. We talked about Carolina and the injury to Wesley Walls, and of course Rob Bollinger starting for the injured Blake Brockemeyer right now.
That's
this
a long
team
list.
It's just amazing. The trainer is the hardest working guy on this team right now.
Yeah, and see, these guys are offensive linemen here. I mean, that's their left side of the line. Matt Campbell and Brockemeyer. You know, and then the wide receiver Caruth went down in the first week against Atlanta. You know, and Sean King was going to be starting at defensive end. Lamar Lathan was the outside linebacker. There's 7 starters in that group right there that aren't a part of this Panther team.
And Walls is out right now, plus they had to change in quarterback last week. 3rd and 3. Quick pass incomplete, broken up. Anthony Parker gets a hand on it.
Yeah, big-time play by Parker. These quarterbacks haven't played well today. They haven't played well because they've been playing soft today. But this time Parker makes a good break. Burline looks off the defense. That ball, you know, didn't get there quite as quick as he wanted, and there's Mark Carrier. Mark Carrier trying to come back for that football. A former Buccaneer himself.
Ken Walter with the punt. Takes it into the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers will take over from their own 20. Another injury on the field, though.
Yeah, that's Anthony Johnson right there, who started at tailback last week for Fred Lane, played the whole game for him.
The Panthers getting banged up all over the place, but they have a 10-point lead, 12.5 to play.
Step up. Learn to see farther. Learn there are teachers who won't allow you to fail. Learn to dance, to draw. Learn that the real challenge doesn't come from the outside, but from within. And that there's more to you than you ever knew. Be all you can be.
The 1999 Lexus ES 300. More powerful than ever, without losing so much as an ounce of civility.
Reset. Zortra, master of the Alpine Galaxy. I fear nothing! Well, except a nice autumn day, when all the kids are outside and I'm stuck in here. Oh! But isn't there anyone who'll play with me? I'll let you in.
It's the biggest Halloween special ever.
He's entering the terrible twos, all right.
An all-new Simpsons, part of a full hour, next Sunday on Fox.
The injuries continue for the Carolina Panthers. Anthony Johnson, the latest.
Anthony Johnson right here is 23. He's going to get fallen on by safety Brent Alexander. The right foot gets trapped underneath Alexander, and it sent A.J. down on the ground.
Bucks take it, 1st and 10 from the 20. Warwick Dunn. Out to the 22. Sean Gilbert brings him down. 2-yard pickup. Man, the Florida natives are really restless this afternoon.
Well, you know, they should be. They started off at halftime against the Bears in week 3 here, down 15-0. Mike Allstott, who just came into the game, said, you know what, we never panicked. We came back and we pounded them in the second half, had 198 yards rushing in that game. Right now, though, deep into the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, they need to get a score on the board. They got to put it in the air.
2nd and 7. Dunn again. Into the open field this time, across the 30, gets enough for the first down. Michael Barrow brings him down, but not after a 10-yard pickup.
Again, you know, against the 3-4 defense, the cutback is what's going to work. And it all starts with Tony Mayberry right here in that matchup. Dunn's going to take this and then cut it back to the left here. You know, running behind Jorge Diaz and Paul Gruber. Good job right there by his fullback, Mike Allstott, stealing Greg Lloyd on the outside. And that's a good lane for Dunn to run through.
First down from the 34. Dunn, third consecutive carry, bones over a man. Right now to our Fox NFL Center, and James Brown for an NFL update.
Kurt, take a look at the New York Giants. You know all about him. Danny Cannell, 5-yard hitch route run by Chris Callaway. Good second and third effort as he takes it to payday. Giants breaking out of the offensive slump in a big way by 20 over Arizona in the third. Back to Kurt and Brian.
Boy, I tell you, when the Giants were down here 2 weeks ago for the Buccaneers last game, they looked absolutely dreadful. Scored 3 points. They're taking it out on the Cardinals this week.
Yeah, they ripped up that playbook from that week. And that's what Tampa Bay needs here. They need to take a 5-yard gain and turn it into a touchdown.
Oh, Warren Dunn stopped short of the 40. Michael Barrow. And all of a sudden, this Buccaneer offense can get absolutely nothing done.
You know, Trent Dilfer told us that, look, it's a sea of ugliness some days, like it was against the Giants. But what I need to do is create some big plays to dilute the ugliness. You know, and then if you get a couple of big plays, people forget about, you know, how conservative we can get. You know, and when you get the third down, you've got to convert it. Mike Shula, offensive coordinator, knows that. Now, for the first time today, 4 wide receivers.
Well, they needed on 3rd and 4. And Riedel Anthony had to leave the game, standing on the sideline with an injury. Dilfer, the quick pass to Emmanuel, gets enough for the first down. Out to the 47-yard line. Emmanuel is the guy they wanted to count on today, and they do right here on the 3rd down.
Yeah, Emmanuel's is going to come right in here to the soft part of the zone. Coming off almost a pick right there, set up by Bryce Hunter, number 88. Dilfer threw it to a spot, and Emmanuel, who is his favorite receiver so far this year in only 2 games, you know, finds him.
Dilfer.
Got it.
To Emmanuel again to the 40-yard line.
And there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm between these 2 guys, Kurt. You know, it started in the offseason when they signed Emmanuel, and Emmanuel said, you know, just running pass patterns in the field, you know, we connect. Right here, good play action to Dunn. Dunn, look at that hit on the linebacker, Soleil, and there's Emmanuel again right underneath the coverage. You know, and Carolina's secondary has been riddled all season. They need to keep taking their shots.
1st and 10 from the 40. Allstott, the lone setback, gets the handoff. Around the outside corner. The A-Train steaming all the way to the 31-yard line before Tony Veland pushes him out of bounds. This is the Tampa Bay offense all the fans were waiting to see.
And Allstott takes it behind the new right tackle here, Jerry Wunsch, who started the season at right tackle against the Vikings. Second-year player from Wisconsin. Here's Allstott. You look at him and you say, where does he get the speed to turn a corner in the NFL? Well, he's deceptive, and he's thick, and he's always looking to make a defensive back pay for getting in his way.
Going to give him 2nd and short. Ball on the 32-yard line. Allstott all alone in the backfield again. Play action. Dilfer over the middle, complete. Pass is caught by Riedel Anthony. Good enough for another Buccaneer first down, and the patience of Trent Dilfer paying off right now.
Yeah, and I think the heat is getting to the Panthers because there's not much pass rush right here. Dilfer had a long time to set up and throw this football. And Paul Gruber, excellent job out at the left tackle position. But not much noise from that man, Kevin Green, or that defensive line. And that will do it, Kurt. You know, you got to fill the radiator up on Thursday when it starts to get to 100 degrees.
Warren Dunn with the carry. Dunn across the 20-yard line. Brent Alexander with the tackle. But one of the things the Buccaneers believes is that defenses wear down here in the Florida heat in the second half of ball games, and that's when they like to run.
Yeah, and Trent Dilfer said it's not so much in the passing game they wear down. It's in the running game. He goes, everybody wants to get to me. Everybody wants to come hit the quarterback. They can get it up for that. it's tackling Allstott and Dunn and Lorenzo Neal and wrapping up. Because you could just see them get exhausted in the fourth quarter. This could be their time of the game.
2nd and 5. Gilbert batted down the line of scrimmage by Sean Gilbert.
Yeah, you know.
Gilbert gets a big call on that.
Gilbert, who had a bad thumb early in the season, too, had a couple pins put in it. Got his thumb hurt early in training camp, missed most of training camp. You're going to see him right here at the top of the screen. I mean, he doesn't get off the line of scrimmage now. I mean, he's stoned by Jorge Diaz right here. But Gilbert, though, gets both paws up, you know, and bats it down. It looked like a bad spike in a volleyball game right there.
Tampa Bay, 3rd and 5. They're 5 for 10 on 3rd down so far this afternoon. Warwick Dunn into the open field, good enough for the 1st down, inside the 10, down to the 8.
Yeah, look at the reaction of Dunn. You know, quiet, unassuming kid now. Hard to get a word out of him. But those runs that he was pounding in the belly of this Carolina defense in the first half starting to open up a little bit now. Look at this, only 5 offensive linemen, they spread Carolina out. They pull Jorge Diaz, and now this is all done. You don't get a good shot on it, twisting and turning inside.
This the 11th play of the Tampa Bay drive. To Dunn again. Inside the 5, down to the 4. Tony Veland with the tackle.
Now, you know, you look at him, you say, how can that kid be that tough in this league? You know, but it's always inside. We said at the outset, you know, this game is all about heart, and you can't measure that. And this kid came on last year and lit this league on fire. And it wasn't because of pretty plays dancing on the outside for touchdowns. It was because of this type of work inside.
Warwick Dunn, just shy of the goal line.
He's going to be down here. He was stretching for the goal line with that ball that came out.
Dunn loses his helmet.
Look at him, Kurt. I mean,
he's a little guy. He's like your little brother.
He looks like, you know, he's got history class tomorrow morning. Western civilization or something, you know, in 10th grade. You see how he gets low. Now he's going to stretch for this ball. Stretch for the goal line, but he's down. Loses his helmet. Doesn't care about his head. Just wants the ball in the end zone.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
This is A-train territory here.
They've got the Rhino backfield in. Lorenzo Neal blocking for Mike Allstott. Play action. Oh, Dilfer on the bootleg. Walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Great drive by Trent Dilfer. If we can get 2 60, 70, 80-yard drives a game and we win, and it's ugly, I don't care. But here he has his tight end out. But why take a chance? I mean, that's John Davis. You could put him in the stat column with a touchdown catch. Take the sure thing and dance it into the end zone.
And Houston gets the extra point. Buccaneers pulled it within 3. 5:05 left to play. Trent Dilfer with a 1-yard touchdown run. It's 13-10 here in Tampa.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Michael Irvin, Eric Kramer. The Cowboys battle the Bears. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues next.
Trent Dilfer's 1-yard touchdown run put Tampa Bay within 3 points of the Carolina Panthers with just over 5 minutes left to play here at Raymond James Stadium. He's getting a call from the president congratulating him on the score.
It's a little early for the congratulations for the president.
I'm sorry.
But he probably has one from offense coordinator Mike Shula.
The Buccaneers have never lost a game here at Raymond James Stadium. It's only their third one, but they are undefeated. Michael Bates takes it at his own 1-yard line. Charles Mency waiting for him at the 10.
Jeff Gooch right there. Great kick right that time by Houston in the very corner.
Charles Mency, Jeff Gooch stop him. Panthers take over.
Line explosion. Yeah. Have you tried Mondo Mango?
What's it taste like?
Mango.
Well, I've never had mango. What if I don't like mango? Have you tried Mondo Mango?
To some, a scented cardboard cutout is simply no substitute for the genuine article. The freshly updated 1999 Toyota 4Runner.
Been to some nice places.
Yes, I have. Singapore was terrific. That's Prime Minister something. See that?
Scary.
Fatima, big star. 52 countries in 2 years.
This new software I've installed, it's gonna save your life. It's called Lotus Notes. Lets you collaborate on projects all over the world. You never have to leave the office. It's gonna be great to have you around.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain? Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
The field will be wet.
Excitement electrifies us, and victory spikes the air. You'll grow ragged and weary and wet.
This is when the big dogs come out.
In driving rain, pro football is played.
How far will Allie go to defend her hemline?
I'm happy to jump on the cause.
Thanks.
An all-new Ally McBeal tomorrow on Fox.
Here's the 1-yard touchdown run by Trent Dilfer. This is a marked man, the A-train. Watch the defense all get sucked in on the A-train, allowing Dilfer. Look at this. I mean, everybody flying to all sides. He'll take the hit so that Dilfer can score the touchdown.
And that's gotten the crowd back into it here. First down from the 11-yard line, the Panthers. Fred Lane. Short pickup. Swarming Tampa Bay defense there.
Now here it is. Here's the touchdown run from this angle. You know, here's Les Miller in the middle. Everybody going for Allstott. And this is a good feeling. See, now John Davis is wide open. But Dilfer says, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this spike. I'm frustrated today. We're going to win this football game. We got one more drive in us to go do it.
2nd and 9 from the 12. Wesley Wall's back in the game. He's in motion. Burline. Complete to William Floyd, and Floyd knocked out of bounds by John Lynch. Gets it out to the 12, maybe the 13-yard line.
John Lynch felt like he pushed him out of bounds before that. Lynch playing in a soft zone over there. Allowed a nice gain on that play to get him out of the hole and force this 3rd and 2.
So he got it out to the 20. 3rd and short. They need to get it just over the 21-yard line for the first. Two tight ends in the game. Burline with time, dumps it off to Fred Lane, gets enough for the first down. Gets out of bounds at the 23-yard line, pushed out by Anthony Parker.
What a play by Burline. And he looked at 3 different receivers on that play. I mean, veteran savvy in there on a really important play. 3rd and 1. You know, not the confidence to run this football, but look at Burline's head. He's looking right. He's looking middle. Now he's looking all the way over here to the safety valve. and throws a strike to Freddie Lane for the first down. And that's just, you can't teach that. You can't coach it. It just comes to like playing.
1st and 10 from the 23. Fred Lane. Fred Lane stood up by Steve White. Tampa Bay's defense holding tight here.
Yeah, Berline right there going off, you know, to talk to his coaches on the sideline. And Steve was telling us in the meeting yesterday that he was really ticked off and really upset at an article that came out in a magazine that talked about valuable backup quarterbacks in this league. And nobody mentioned his name, like he's a forgotten commodity. And he took it personally, and that's what good football players do. They put a big chip on their shoulder, they take everything personally, and then they take it out on the field.
Tampa Bay called a timeout there. 3:49 left to play. They've got a 3-point lead, but coming up next, it's the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys head into Soldier Field. They'll clash with Curtis Enis and the rest of the Chicago Bears. Don't miss more exciting NFL action coming up next, right here on Fox. Steve Berline has been the man, led this team to within a play of beating the Cowboys last week in his first start after the Kerry Collins situation was semi-resolved and Collins was benched. Then Collins was released this week, and he's got them leading 13-10 with 3:49 left to play here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he'll take the opportunity any way he gets it. He's a player, and players like to perform. They like to be on the field.
2nd down and 11. Fred Lane. Unable to run the ball, picks up a couple of yards. Jeff Gooch with the tackle for the Bucs.
Yeah, this offense that Carolina's been running today, and this style of play today, very reminiscent of 1996 when we went 13-5, beat the Cowboys in Ericsson Stadium in the divisional championship game, and they had a lot of success, and they were the talk of the league. You know, and now we talked, you know, with the defensive people in Tampa Bay, and they said they would like to only be on the field for 50 to 52 plays. Right now, they're at 49 total, you know, and a little top-heavy here in the second half. You know, and here it is on 3rd down. They can knock them out here. They could get them off the field. They'd be right at 50 plays, you know, with the ball in their offense's hands, and the game plan would be just the way they like to draw it up for 50 plays.
Well, Tampa Bay called that timeout. They're down to just 1 left. Carolina has 2 of their 3, but they've got the lead and the ball. 3:42 left to play here at Raymond James Stadium. Tony Dungy's crew trying to get their 3rd win of the season, pull the 500. Don't need to fall too far behind the Vikings and the Packers in the NFC Central. 3rd and 8. Berline gets it complete. Makes it Mark Carey and fumbles the ball. Recovered by Anthony Parker. And Tampa Bay has it.
Derek Brooks.
And apparently, Parker fumbled the ball. Muhsin Muhammad picked it up. And they're saying it's Carolina's ball now.
Well, there was a change of possession on the play.
It changed possession twice.
Recovered the ball.
That's exactly what happened. They got a free 1st down here. You're going to see Berline now. Good job of getting the ball to Muhsin Muhammad, who breaks the 1st tackle. But here comes Derek Brooks, strips the ball. Now the ball is loose. Right there is Anthony Parker. The ball still isn't in the ground. See that? He never had control of the football. Anthony Parker never, ever has control of the ball. Now here's Anthony Johnson. All right, ball stripped by Derek Brooks. Ball's on the ground. Scramble for it. Here comes 27 into the picture. That's Anthony Parker at the bottom. But he never has it wrapped up there.
I think Parker had the ball, tried to get up and run with it, and just could not get it.
No, I don't think he really had control of the football, though, Kurt.
Whatever it is a huge play for the Carolina Panthers.
Well, now, if Anthony Parker does not have control of this football, It's just a loose ball.
But he's got it right there.
And it should be Carolina's ball, fourth down here. He never had possession there, Kurt.
You're right. You're right.
That is just nothing more than a fumble and a loose ball. Carolina recovers it. It would be fourth down. And not a change of possession because Tampa Bay never possessed the football.
And that's what the discussion on the field is about, because if it's decided that Parker recovered it, and then Carolina took it away from him, it's first down Carolina, but they're saying no, he never recovered it, and so it brings up a fourth down situation for the Carolina Panthers.
See, and look at the poise that Tony Dungy has to go argue with the referee. You know, under control. Now, Caper is going to lose control here because his team needs the football. Now, he's going to get the call right now from Ron Winter. And what Ron Winter's telling him is that Tampa Bay never had control of the football. It was nothing more than a loose ball.
Brings up a 4th and 12 situation for Carolina now, and obviously they're going to have to punt. But Dom Capers trying to get his team a win any way they possibly can, and it may come down to this one play here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Derek Brooks knocks the ball out of Anthony Johnson's hands. The scramble's on. There's Robinson. Here's Anthony Parker, 27. See this? He never has the ball. He's trying to find it in there. It's like trying to stab a crouton in the bottom of a salad ball. You know, you just can't get the fork on it. And all Carolina did was recover a loose ball. And on third down, it becomes fourth down.
If there was no change of possession, Carolina recovered the ball. It's fourth down.
And there it's official from referee Ron Winter. So 3:23 to play. Carolina going to have to punt.
And give the officials credit, because what they initially thought they saw was a recovery by Parker, but he never had possession, and that's why they had the meeting. They straightened it out. They made the right call. Carolina should be punting here on fourth down.
Ken Walter, who has not had a great day punting the ball, kicking it back to Carl Williams.
Carl Williams having just under 10 yards to return this year. Big play capabilities, though.
They call him the Truth. And the truth is he's in there because their rookie Jacquez Green is injured this week. So Williams has to return the ball. It's a good punt by Walter. Williams takes it at the 40. Tripped up. Nice open field play. Michael Bates with the tackle. Don't forget, tonight it's Game 2 of the World Series. Andy Ashby leading the Padres against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and the rest of the Yankees. It's Game 2 of the World Series tonight, beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, immediately following our NFL doubleheader action here on Fox. Boy, how about those Yankees last night? Oh, looked like you're ready to write them off at Chuck Knobloch and Tino Martinez.
That looked like the Yankees all year. You never knew where the firepower was going to come from.
So Tampa Bay with the best starting field position of the day from their own 43-yard line. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, ball's incomplete. This fourth quarter has been the Buccaneers' quarter all year long. They've scored more points in the fourth quarter, 49, including the touchdown today, than in the other 3 quarters combined.
Yeah,
so they're used to doing it when the game's on the line.
Well, not only that, but I think it just takes them a long time to get warmed up. And they're not a confident team to start the football game. It concerns Tony Dungy as he looks ahead, but right now he's thinking, we got to at least get 3 points in this drive and force this in overtime.
2nd and 10. Dilfer with time. Wow, and it's completed. Bernie Manuel with the catch. Nice sideline grab there, good enough for make that a Tampa Bay first down, 13 yards on the pass play.
Dilfer trying to keep it together. Now he double clutches here on this ball. He feels a little pressure, but good patience by Dilfer. He waited for Gilbert to get his hands down, and then he threw a bullet to Emmanuel against Evans right on the sideline. One of the best passes he's thrown all day.
1st and 10 from the Carolina 43, thrown a little bit high there. They really did complete. Flag down on the play.
That's a big addition there today, bringing Emmanuel back in here. Off the high ankle sprain. He's been in the whirlpool for about the last 5 weeks, but already 5 catches today, 56 yards. Or 6 catches today. Or 5 catches for 66 yards. And that's Dilfer's favorite target.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving, did not become set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So now it's 1st and 15. Ball is on the 48 of Carolina. Allstott and Dunn split the backfield. Dilfer under pressure, dumps it off to Dunn. Brought down close to the line of scrimmage. Brent Alexander with the tackle. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Buccaneers down by 3, but with the ball here in the 4th quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Gateway. Let's talk about your Gateway.
How does it feel to drive the luxurious Lexus LS 400? Now you know.
Ramada and Holiday Inn may look similar, so at Ramada, we do our personal best to attack even the smallest problems. At Ramada, nothing bugs us like imperfection. For reservations, call 1-800-2-RAMADA.
Buy a set of 4 selected Goodyear tires before November 28th and get a $50 or $100 U.S. savings bond. For the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
The powdered sugar on this donut puts a semi-protective barrier between your fingerprint and your nutrition. But even if some grease does get on that donut, that's just flavor to a High Life man.
The X-Files. The new season begins November 8th on Fox.
Carolina head coach Dom Capers needs his team to hold on here for their first victory of the season. 2 minutes left to play. Tampa Bay has the ball 2nd and 16 from the 49-yard line of Carolina. Dilfer to the air. No one turned around. That ball was intended for Carl Williams. Williams never looked back for it.
Now, this is just awful here. I mean, they need to make a play right now. They're going against Rod Smith and Carl Williams and Trent Dilfer right there, are not hooking up here. You can't have that type of breakdown when the game is on the line, forcing a 3rd and long.
3rd and 16 for Tampa Bay. 7 of 12 so far this afternoon on 3rd down conversions. Dilfer going the same way, intended for Bert Emanuel. This pass broken up by Rod Smith. Emanuel gets the flag.
Yeah.
He was begging for it, and it's a late pass interference call against Rod Smith.
Yeah, very late call by the side judge, Kenny Baker. Either he had a hard time getting that flag out of his pocket, or he had to think about it.
Number 31 of the defense. First down.
Boy, Carolina has had 2 late calls go against him.
Here's Rod Smith right here. Here's Bert Emanuel. That he gives him. He knows it's 3rd in the bunch. Emanuel, though, gets on top of him quick, fakes the post, and comes back. Now look at this. See that left arm right there by Smith? If he'd come over maybe over the top of the right arm, maybe no call, but he has to call that.
Buccaneers 4 receivers in the game on 1st and 10. Dilfer going for it all.
Got it.
Touchdown. Carl Williams. Trent Dilfer to Carl Williams, 30 yards on the touchdown, and the Buccaneers take the lead.
Dilfer said, I just need a couple of big plays to dilute the ugliness so people don't think that we're really that bad. That was a big play to Carl Williams.
No good. Houston misses the extra point.
It keeps it a 3-point game here. And John Casey, who has a 53-yard field goal now, all of a sudden warming up that leg on the sideline.
Houston had only missed 4 extra points in his career in 131 attempts. Before that one, he has now missed his 5th, and it may turn out to be a big play. It keeps this a 3-point game.
Here's the matchup right here. Williams against Smith. Smith, who the Cowboys went after early in the game last week. Williams runs a straight fly route. He gets a little bit of separation. There's a push. There's a push off there that allows that separation, but I think the push was more by Smith than it was Williams. Dilfer, who's made some bad throws today, throws a great throw in the very corner of the end zone.
Carl Williams with of the year.
Look at the room here that Williams does. I mean, that is tight. That is tight.
What a job of keeping his feet down.
Yeah, and keeping that concentration. Williams' first touchdown catch of the season. None could have been bigger here to put the Bucs up by 3. Yeah.
You know that Trent Dilfer loved that one, giving the Buccaneers the lead for the first time this afternoon. Look at it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, I needed that so bad.
We talked about the fourth quarter being theirs. They have now scored 13 of their 16 points in this ball game here in the fourth period. Houston set to kick off. Michael Bates and Winslow Oliver back to receive. That's going to be Bates in his own end zone.
It's good
Got to the 17-yard line. Jeff Gooch was the first guy to get a hand on him.
It's been great special teams by Tampa Bay all day.
There's another injured Panther on the field right now. The scoring drive for the Buccaneers, 5 plays, 57 yards, the 30-yard touchdown pass, but the pass interference call was the big play there. Actually, there are 2 big plays this quarter. The fumble that wasn't recovered by Tampa Bay, and the interference call right here.
Yeah, against Rod Smith, against Bert Emanuel. Now watch the left hand of Rod Smith. See that? He interfered. He didn't allow Emanuel to come back to that ball without the interference.
Carolina starts from their own 17. Burline dumps it off complete to Anthony Johnson. Johnson out to the 23-yard line. Derek Brooks with the tackle. The clock becomes a factor. 1:24 left to play in the game and counting.
Yeah, 3 of Carolina's losses have come down to Hail Mary throws with a chance to win it.
Burline, complete. Anthony Johnson once again good enough for the first down. They say it's incomplete now.
Yeah, he bobbled that ball.
The umpire said he had it, but the side judge disagreed. .106 left to play here. Carolina with 2 timeouts to go. Down by 3 on 3rd and 4 from the 23.
Now, what Burline's first look is going to be is to the sideline here, where his receiver can catch it, get out of bounds, and stop the clock. And it's Sapp time. Now, this is when Warren Sapp seems like really come alive. Thrown up on the right side in front of Lucina.
Bucks coming with the blitz. Quick pass complete. And that's caught by Rocket Ismail out to the 34-yard line. Good enough for the first down and 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, you know, you want to make a name for yourself at quarterback, you engineer a 2-minute drive. Burline looks like he's in control right now.
Burline to pass, under pressure, gets it off to Johnson again. Anthony Johnson at the 36-yard line, 4-yard pickup. Derek Brooks with the tackle. Timeout on the field.
Now this is what Tampa Bay's giving him. They're giving him the outside flats. You know, and he's got receivers in Ismail and Muhammad that can get to the outside, stop, come back, and get out of bounds. And those are the routes that he's going to look for first.
Tony Dungy's trying to keep his crew here and keep Carolina out of field goal range just for information's sake, I guess. You look at John Casey, who is the kicker for the Carolina Panthers. His longest field goal of the season is also the longest of his career at 56 yards, meaning they'd have to get the ball to the 39-yard line or so in order for him to get it.
Yeah, and this defense is predicated